Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of an intro where I just finished off a half-hour rate 20 on the rowing machine. The split itself 41.1, that's the fastest I've done this year in 2021, which brings me to the subject of this video. As you can tell from the title, we're doing a little bit of 2021 goals. So last year I made a video speaking about my 2020 goals. Very simply, it was my 2K, my 5K, and my rate 20, 30 minute, and then sort of goals surrounding that. So we're going to do the same this year, and let me know in the comments below what your goals are, whether they're rowing related, other sport related, or just life in general related. One thing I do want to say is you don't have to have goals. Some people have seen a lot of posts, a lot of people saying you have to have goals to succeed, you have to write down everything that you want to do or you won't be able to do it. Well, for this year and last year, with everything going on around us, sometimes you just need a little bit of a break, and with everything constantly changing at the moment, we don't know what's happening next week or next month, it can be very difficult to sort of set those goals. Luckily for me, my rowing goals, or at least my rowing machine, my fitness goals, can be easily measured on a machine that I can have in the garage, in the Yam Cave, the 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever it may be, whether it's in the ambulance itself somewhere, if I can get this finished and out the driveway, or like I said, in the Yam Cave in the garage or elsewhere. So I can measure my fitness and get those goals, at least the rowing machine goals, set up and attempt to aim for those. Some goals, for example, rowing on the water related goals for me could be quite difficult to achieve, because getting on the water, especially during everything that's going on, the practice of actually getting on the water and getting better is, especially now, severely restricted. For now here in Scotland, the water is pretty much frozen everywhere. The weather's all over the shop, so who knows when we could actually get on the water. So, without any more havering going on, I'm going to talk about my rowing machine goals and then sort of an overarching goal that I want to take into life as well as my rowings. So, very simply, my 2K, my 5K and my half an hour goals. So last year, my half hour goal was to go faster than 9K, which I did, I think it was in January or at least beginning of February, so I've hit that goal. And I would like to just push that on slightly. So I think it was 39.4, so I would like to push that into the 38s this year. For my 5K, I want to keep the target pretty much the same as last year. which is 1530. My PB in the 5K is 1540, which I did about 5 years ago now. Last year in December, I managed the fastest time I've done for a 5K pretty much since that PB. So I'm in a good place considering December, getting good training on the machine in, and I think we'll do another 5K in about February time to see how we can step on. So I would say hitting the PB, so sub 1540 would be fantastic, and a little bit of a stretch goal, we'll change it a little bit this year, stretch goal would be 1530. And lastly, my goal for my 2K, my 2000 meter row on the rowing machine, I would say it's quite similar to last year as well. Unlike the 5K, I PB'd in my 2K last year, so I went 1 second faster than my previous PB now 2 or 3 years ago. And my goal was 547, last year I PB'd at 549. So I would like to go to that 547 that I targeted last year. So overall, my goals haven't really changed too much from 2020 to 2021. It's more just how I'm approaching those goals and the overarching attitude that I've been taking towards training, especially in the past sort of month to 2 months. So obviously I'm up here in Scotland working on the ambulance, also with my family, and working and training with the START program guys and working with Scottish Rowing as well. So it's very different than the training and whatnot from last year, where I was training down in Bath with Charlie, and obviously through lockdown as well, there wasn't too much interaction with other athletes. So it's made a massive difference this past sort of 4 months or so that I've been in Scotland to actually be able to train with people throughout the week or throughout the month, and actually be able to, whether it's race each other side by side on the water, or even just have a random conversation after an erg and say, how was that erg? How did you do there? And so hopefully the plan is to take that positivity, that support forward throughout the year, and to take that into the PBs, which then takes me into my overall overarching goal, not just in rowing, not just on the rowing machine, not just on the water, but in life in general, including how I approach the ambulance, is to try and enjoy as much as possible. Last year in my 2020 goal video, I mentioned that I wanted to enjoy more, which I really think I accomplished. That was a goal that I was kind of set on doing, and that spurred on a lot of the changes that happened for me throughout the year, the move to Bath and the move up here as well, up to Scotland. And so this year I want to just keep on reminding myself about the importance of enjoying what I'm doing, and as well as the importance of, you've guessed it, food. Because remember, food is fuel. Because actually, since I think it was around early December, late November, I wasn't feeling so well, and I actually weighed about 95 kilos, and I was struggling to recover. Not because I was light, but more because I wasn't eating enough and therefore losing weight. And so now I'm actually around 107, 108, so I've put on 12, 13 kilos. Obviously, really helped along by the fact that we went through the holiday period, and the fridge, luckily in my house, is just packed full of leftovers from Christmas dinner or just dinners in general. So absolutely fantastic. And it's also a reminder to me that it is really important, not just the weight that I am, but the food that I do consume is so important to training, maybe not tomorrow, but in the next few days. Because if I underfuel one day, I can probably survive another day. But if I underfuel for one day and then another day and another day, at some point I'm going to fall down and fall over, and I won't be able to apply as much YAM, whether that's in a very hard row, whether it's a 2K, 5K, half hour, or some test piece, or even in the steady work becomes slower, becomes harder, and you just have less energy. So I'm not saying go out and just gain loads of weight, but I am saying just figuring out the importance for you of good recovery and good fueling, whether that's getting enough sleep, whether that is eating or eating more, or eating less, or maybe it's just changing your diet slightly so you're eating a little bit better, so that the recovery that you do have is even better from that same fuel. So hopefully that makes sense. YAM Squad, a little bit of a recap. So 2K, My goal still 5:47, so 2 seconds off my PB. My 5K, 5,000 meters on the rowing machine. 15:30 stretch goal. 15:40, break the PB that I've had for about 5 years. So same goal as last year. And then my half an hour, since I managed to PB and go over 9K on my half hour last year, I broke that goal, so this year I just want to edge on the PB. So 39.3 would be fantastic. In the 38s would be even more wonderful. As I said at the beginning of our little chat in the Yambulance, let me know in the comments below what your goals are for 2021. Can you believe it? It's already 2021. We're in the 2020s now. And as you can see, if you haven't been following along with the Yambulance videos, we're getting there with the Yambulance itself. So there's just a few things left with the Yambulance to do. A couple of bits on the ceiling for some lighting. The cushions here, which I'm actually struggling to find anyone that can actually make the cushions. And a couple of licks of paint here and there. And just a couple of finishes, I think. I think that's it. So we're very close, Yam Squad. Hopefully I can take you on the journeys in the Yambulance in 2021. Maybe that should be part of a goal as well. Get out there, explore a little bit, but obviously with everything going on, who knows if that will be possible. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you in the next episode.